A very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. President advocates for an increase in local confectionery exports. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri envisions Sri Lanka's foreign policy at the Oxford Union. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized the potential for Sri Lanka to become a global player in the confectionery industry. He encouraged Sri Lankan confectioneries to expand their horizons and tap into international markets. The president said this addressing the 30th annual general meeting of the Lanka Confectionery Manufacturers Association on Wednesday.
Already we are discussing getting the lands. Some of the state plantations belong to the state in Matale, Kandy, Mawatagama, Dodangaslanda to be given out for intercropping with cocoa. To look at the small holders who are willing to intercrop. Monaragala, where there is scope for cocoa. I will discuss with some of your members. We have asked Mr. Charitarathwattu to take over, identify and restart the cocoa growing project we had in 2018. That's not all. We are speaking with the government of Ghana and the government of Ivory Coast to get you access to cocoa, a special way. So this is the way that we can start off. But there's much more to be done. It's not only chocolates, it's not ice cream, it's not only biscuits. There are so many things to be done. So all the plantations belonging to the state will be leased out to Sri Lankan companies or Sri Lankan companies with foreign shareholders, all to be used, not merely to develop the crop, but to be used in the food industry, which includes confectionery, which is virtually all the lands owned by Chilau and Kurunegala plantation, plus what is there with Alkadua, with JDB and SPC. There will be other lands also that will be available, which we are looking at. We are having food security funds, which will be system A and B of Mahaveli, which is still to be tapped. But all modern agriculture, the best of agriculture. Secondly is the matter of competitiveness. We are establishing the National Productivity Commission. So if you have to have a competitive economy, our productivity has to increase. We are talking with India on upgrading the FTA into ECTA. So there are the non-tariff barriers we have to deal with. If we remove that, there's a good market for you there.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed appreciation to the Customs Department for contributing immensely to the accumulation of revenue of the country. The president said that the government is dedicated to completely modernize the customs and other revenue departments of the country. He said this speaking at the International Customs Day celebration held in Colombo today.
I must first thank the members of this organization for all the work that was put in to enable us to overcome the economic crisis which we faced in 2022. So first and foremost, I must first record my thanks. I must also record my thanks to the World Customs Organization, which has been working with us and together with other organizations to modernize and make the customs far more efficient. So first let me put the record. Because customs, as you know, is not merely the key source of revenue for Sri Lanka, but for all parts of the world. Together with customs and VAT, and income tax are the three main sources. The issue of customs, the question of duties goes today hand in hand with the international trade agreements, with the regional trade agreements, with the free trade agreements. With all this, how do you increase your revenue? Today's customs services have to be efficient. Otherwise, this cannot be done. Despite the fact that we were unable to give you additional cards, your performance really showed how much improvements can be made in the collection period. We have a long way to go. Nevertheless, the government is dedicated to the complete modernization of the customs and the other revenue departments, including the new law that we will be bringing in soon. So this is a part of the measures we are taking to face the economic crisis.
Foreign Minister Ali Sabri envisioned Sri Lanka's foreign policy to be multi-aligned, pro-commerce and away from being caught in the middle of big power rivalries. The minister said this speaking at the Oxford Union in London, England yesterday.
Chinese investment are important for Sri Lanka because they take risk and come and invest. The Western investment are important for us. That is where our market is. We export mostly to the Western world. India is our neighbor and India is growing fast. Traditionally, we have a strong relationship with Japan. Most of our remittances come from the Middle East. So when we fashion our foreign policy, we need to take all these intricacies into account and maintain a very careful policy, not antagonizing anyone, not getting into any camp. Most important thing is not to let down your sovereignty, because it will come back to bite you very hard. So therefore, while maintaining our independence, how to work with everyone. So that's our challenge. I think we have succeeded in doing so during the last 18 to 24 months. That's why remittances have increased, tourists are coming, investment are growing, and we have got the support of the wider world.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Minister of State for Fisheries, Pial Nishantha De Silva, has unveiled a groundbreak into initiative named Divara Suwa Savya, aimed at uplifting the welfare of fishermen across the country. The program's first phase is scheduled to kick off at the Wellamkara Fishery Port in Vennapur, as announced during a press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre recently. In his address, State Minister Pial Nishantha De Silva shed light on the pressing challenges encountered by fishermen, notably the health issues faced during sea expeditions. The lack of timely medical assistance for allying fishermen at sea has posed significant hurdles, incurring substantial financial burdens. The Divara Suwa Savya emerges as a comprehensive endeavour aimed at improving the health and well-being of the fishing community. Under this initiative, all fishermen are mandated to undergo through medical examinations and obtain a 2-year medical certificate from designated government hospitals near fishing ports. This requirement will be phased, initially targeting captains of multi-day vessels before extending to crew members and eventually covering all fishermen nationwide. Training sessions conducted by the Sri Lanka Navy's Medical Corps will certify at least one individual on each vessel as a first aid trainee. Furthermore, each vessel will be equipped with a first aid kit containing essential medicines and emergency equipment, following recommendations from the Ministry of Health. The United Nations Development Programme in Sri Lanka and the UN Global Compact Network Sri Lanka have reaffirmed their dedication to advancing sustainable development through the signing of their third Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement, which was signed in Colombo recently, underscores their joint efforts to facilitate private sector involvement and promote sustainable development initiatives across Sri Lanka. Notably, UNDP becomes the first non-private sector entity to secure a position on the Network Sri Lanka board, a testament to the strong partnership cultivated over years of collaboration. This collaboration is in line with UNDP's mission to enhance development activities, stimulate public disclosure, and raise awareness regarding the Sustainable Development Goals. It also aims to encourage active engagement to accelerate progress on the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Through this renewed partnership, both entities will encourage responsible business practices among business and non-business entities. These practices will focus on advancing the SDGs in critical areas such as governance, climate resilience, digitalization, innovation, sustainable finance, and gender equality. First Capital Holdings has unveiled a groundbreaking milestone in the financial services industry with the introduction of the First Capital Money Plus Fund this week. This initiative offers digital withdrawal and payment facilities through an EMV-enabled card, presenting a myriad of transaction options for customers. Ensuring the integrity and security of this innovative fund, First Capital has joined forces with HNB to secure trustee services. The newly introduced fund empowers unit trust account holders to conventionally access their investments through an EMV-enabled card. First Capital Money Plus Fund grants instant access to their investments through over 3,500 ATMs, POS terminals and digital payment gateways across the country. First Capital anticipates that the enhanced accessibility and flexibility will propel the growth of the unit trust market in Sri Lanka.
In terms of adding confidence to the investors of the fund, both who is acting as trustee of the fund, so the custodian of all the investments, and we know HNB is the largest player currently today in Sri Lanka in the trustee business, but also to extend some of the payment platforms that HNB have, which will actually digitize and give access to the investors of the unit trust fund to be able to use SWIFT and other digital card mechanisms for payments and withdrawals. So that's the first time in Sri Lanka that a unit trust fund would actually have the access to its unit holders being able to transact digitally, even withdraw via ATM, so on.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the stock updates. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 61.40 points to close at 10,335.79, and the S&P SL20 gained 25.61 points to close at 2,929. The turnover was 0.7 billion rupees and over 27 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all we have for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook.